They claimed no species could survive the black zone. Then humans returned alive. The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Captain Sarah Chen stepped through the quantum gateway, her environmental suit bearing scorch marks and radiation burns. That told a story no one thought possible. Behind her, 3 more figures emerged: Dr. Marcus Webb, Engineer Yuki Tanaka, and Communications Officer David Okafor, all very much alive despite having spent 47 standard cycles in the most hostile region of known space. Counselor Zeftar of the Vrex Consortium was the first to break the stunned silence. His crystalline form chimed with disbelief as he spoke through his translation matrix. Impossible. The Theta Sector, what you humans call the Black Zone, has claimed 17 expeditions from 9 different species. Nothing biological can survive those conditions. Captain Chen removed her helmet, revealing tired but determined eyes. With respect, Counselor, your species might have better luck if you didn't give up so easily. The insult rippled through the chamber like a shockwave. The reptilian Seth delegation hissed in unison, their scales flashing warning colors. Ambassador Kraz of the Eternal Dominion's mechanical eyes blazed with indignation. Even the peaceful Harmonites' song shifted to a discordant minor key. You dare suggest that superior civilizations, species that mastered space travel while your kind was still discovering fire, lack the capability to survive where you somehow thrived? Kraz's synthesized voice dripped with contempt. Dr. Webb stepped forward, his weathered face calm despite the hostility radiating from the assembled aliens. Not superior capability. Different capability. He activated his portable holodisplay, showing readings that made several counselors recoil. The Black Zone's environmental hazards include Class 5 radiation storms, gravitational anomalies that can crush most known materials, and temperatures ranging from near absolute zero to plasma hot within minutes. Your species evolved optimization. We evolved adaptation. The display shifted to show the human team's journey through the zone, where the Vrex had sent crystal beings whose perfect lattice structures shattered under gravitational stress. The humans had bent and flexed, where the Seth had deployed their strongest warriors only to watch them freeze in the eternal cold. The humans had built fires from debris and shared body heat. Where the Dominion's machines had failed due to radiation interference, the humans had improvised solutions with analog equipment and biological intuition. Your peoples are magnificent, Engineer Tanaka added, her voice carrying genuine respect. The Vrex build structures that last millennia. The Seth have reflexes faster than our computers. The Dominion creates technology we can barely comprehend, but you've all become so specialized, so perfect, that you've forgotten how to be messy. Messy? Counselor Zeftar's form pulsed with confusion. Communications Officer Okafor smiled, displaying his imperfect human teeth. Inefficient, irrational, stubborn. When the gravitational field crushed our main shelter, we didn't calculate the optimal response and implement it flawlessly. We panicked, argued, made mistakes, and somehow cobbled together a solution using duct tape, prayer, and 3 different incompatible technologies we found in the wreckage of previous expeditions. Captain Chen pulled out a small device that made the entire council lean back in alarm. It was a fusion of Vrex crystalline matrices, Seth bioneural processors, and Dominion quantum cores, all held together with what appeared to be primitive human welding and some kind of adhesive compound. This shouldn't work, she said simply. According to every engineering principle we know, combining these technologies should result in catastrophic failure. But when you're dying in the vacuum of space and have 30 minutes of oxygen left, you don't worry about theoretical incompatibilities. You make it work. The device hummed to life, its readings showing impossible harmonization between the alien technologies. Several counselors began urgent consultations with their scientific advisors. Ambassador Kraz leaned forward, his mechanical form clicking with interest. How? Because humans are biological duct tape, Dr. Webb explained. We're not the strongest, fastest, smartest, or most advanced species in the galaxy, but we're the most irrationally persistent. When the Seth expedition encountered the thermal fluctuations, they calculated the mathematical impossibility of survival and retreated logically. When we hit the same problem, we said, "This sucks, but we're doing it anyway," and started building insulation out of our own clothes. When our navigation systems failed, Tanaka continued, we didn't wait for rescue or attempt to repair them properly. We dead-reckoned our way through 27 light-years of the most dangerous space in the galaxy, using the stars, some basic math, and what my grandmother would call stubborn human spite. The chamber erupted in a cacophony of translated debates. The implications were staggering. For millennia, the galactic community had written off entire regions of space as uninhabitable, resources as unreachable, and problems as unsolvable. But here stood 4 humans who had not only survived the unsurvivable, but returned with detailed scans, mineral samples, and a working prototype that violated fundamental engineering principles. Counselor Zeftar's chiming grew contemplative. The survey data you've gathered from the Theta sector, it changes everything. The resources, the strategic positions, the scientific discoveries. Captain Chen nodded grimly. That's why we went in there. Not because we thought we were better than you, but because somebody had to try a different approach. You've all become so efficient that you've forgotten the value of being gloriously, magnificently inefficient. She gestured to her team, their jury-rigged equipment and their impossible survival. We didn't conquer the Black Zone through superior technology or perfect planning. We conquered it through the most human trait of all, the absolute refusal to accept that something can't be done just because it's never been done before. The silence that followed was different from before. It wasn't shock or disbelief, but recognition. For the first time in galactic history, the Council was seeing humanity not as the crude newcomers to be patronized, but as the specialists in impossible solutions they never knew they needed. And in the depths of space, the Black Zone waited, no longer quite so black, no longer quite so impossible, because sometimes the universe just needed someone stubborn enough to refuse to quit.